Hey, everybody, we're back. Show is yet to be named. Marvel Phase 4, Part 2, Johnny Donuts, Putty Pastries, and Carrie Cinnamon Buns. Oh, sorry, I forgot I spelled it Simonin. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
We left off at Shang-Chi was the last thing we talked about, so we're going to go into this. So we're going to go a little bit faster, less mutants. What if? That's what the next thing's called.
That's probably my most hyped thing ever that I'm excited about is What If. I mean,
I think so.
They can do so much with that. It's animated, so they can do whatever they want.
And see, the thing is, though, I do see that they're doing What If to the MCU mostly, and I'm hoping that they will dive into the stories of What If in the actual comic books, though. You know what I mean? Because there were some really good ones back in the day.
My favorite was Wolverine defeats Hulk.
I know, right? So that one, and then and see, things. The problem is I haven't read them in so long that I've actually forgotten them. Because the problem is What If were one of those comic books that I read and then I never touched again, and it's because it didn't have any continuity to any story anyway.
No, but what I think with this What If, it's going to be a bunch of fresh new stories. I don't think they're going to take anything from the comic books. The only one I think they may take from the comic books is the one where the Avengers destroy everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then, was it Scarlet Centurion takes over the Earth, and then Thor defeats him? Banner turns back into Banner permanently without... That's the only one I think they may adapt. But other than that, it's going to be a bunch of fresh stories, because they're also bringing in Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Yeah, because I noticed that the Marvel Zombies were in there, because I saw Winter Soldier going against the Captain America zombie, and I figured, okay, that's probably what they're going to do with the zombies, is just put it in the What If zombies exist or something.
I went through it a little bit. What if Magneto ruled all the mutants?
Yep, I remember that one, yeah.
And what was the other one I wrote down?
What
if Uncle Ben hadn't died?
That
was a big one.
Yeah, that was a huge one as well. I remember that too. That changed everything for him and everything.
Spider-Man grows up to be a pretentious jerk teenager on the Instagram.
Why? Of course he does, right?
Uncle Ben doesn't die. He never learns.
But yeah, I was trying to remember some of them, and I'm actually pulling up some because I remember. Okay, this is one that actually, now that I think about it, was distinguishable because it has to go back to the Bagman. It was when Spider-Man actually became part of the Fantastic Four.
You just want Bagman.
But the thing is, they won't do that just yet because they don't have the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
because everybody in What If, all the actors from the MCU are returning to provide voices for the show.
Yeah, no.
So if they don't have Fantastic Four yet, I don't think they're going to cast him.
No, I get it. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that these are actually going to happen. I'm just saying that they're going to happen now. I'm aware of what they already have. You know, and you can actually definitely see. It's just it's a dream cycle of like, okay, now that we are getting mutants, we are getting Fantastic Four. Sorry, I mentioned mutants. Sorry, but anyway, now that we are getting into those, we can actually jump into some what ifs. Like, what I feel is great is we're gonna finally get some stuff. Like maybe we'll actually get what if Death was involved in the Infinity Saga, that kind of thing, because it actually happened. So why not make it a what if for people that?
I have a good one, because since now they own Fox, right? What if Harry and Marv won? It's like a 2-minute movie where they get by all the things and they just kill Kevin McAllister.
What if Harry and Marv actually kill Kevin?
Yeah. His parents come home and they're just eating him.
Army Hammer style.
Yeah, right.
They replace Joe Pesci with Army Hammer.
Oh.
Okay, that's it. What if we're done? Next movie.
We're doing that.
The only thing I hope for What If, though, is bring the Hoff in as Nick Fury again.
Yeah, right?
Wait, whoa. What if the Avengers were all those old movie characters? You brought Lou Ferrigno, you brought everybody.
Do it.
Whoa, you just blew my mind.
I want to see the Hoff as Fury again.
I want to see
Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher.
Japanese Spider-Man.
Dolph Lundgren is the Punisher, right?
Yes. Oh, my God. And that Fantastic Four. And, oh, my God.
And then
Thor.
Yeah, well, that's going to say that. And then you can't miss stuff like I know they had the Generation X, but I don't think that would be involved. But you can't forget about things like
the Captain America on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Or Thor from Adventures of Babysitting. That's what I want.
Oh man,
no, that's Paramount. I don't think they can do that.
No, yeah, right.
Hey, everyone, shut up. New thing.
Next,
Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye is one of those things. I'll just say this real quick because Hawkeye is one of those ones that I'm familiar with again because of like the stigma of like Logan, old man Logan, things that nature, like where he crossed in. I like that they're getting his daughter involved in that and everything. But I will say this is going to be, again, for me, like Shang-Chi. I have, but at least I will say I do have staple points in this way more than I will with Shang-Chi. But definitely, I'm excited about it. I just don't know where it's going to go, to be honest with you.
Well, going back to our video we did with on the WandaVision review, John, we were talking about the Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye. And because Red Room is involved and Black Widow is involved, I think that's the direction they may take it. Like, I'd love to see that. Like, I mean, the actresses that they got, like in terms of Haley Steinfeld and Vera Farmiga are in the show. It's going to be like, it's well cast. So I'm really actually looking forward to this Hawkeye series.
Haley Steinfeld is who I wanted to play Kate Bishop since the first day that I picked up that comic and read it. I just envisioned her
Haley
in my
Steinfeld,
head.
yeah.
And when they mentioned it, I was like,
role.
wow. I was like, how did they know I was thinking this?
Well,
She's perfect for that role.
Yeah.
Fun fact, she did Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Verse too.
Yeah, right. And that's the great. See, that's the thing. You could definitely tell they're setting up for Young Avengers through the television series.
Yeah, because they've brought in Bishop, Wiccan, Speed. I think that's the end of Phase 4. That's what they're bringing in, is the Young Avengers versus Kang.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, that's great because I'm glad they're doing that now. Because then what happens is then they can, after they do that, they can start moving on to other things like, Secret Invasion, and then get even or Secret Wars even and delve into those. And now that we have the mutants, because of course the reason I know I brought it back up again, but again that's because of Wiccan and Speed. I feel like that's going to start bringing that in.
I like how you become self-aware. You're like,
but they also recast Cassie Lang too, and she's part of the Young Avengers as well.
This will be the third recast of Cassie Lang,
right?
I know, right?
But I mean, that's from what I see here as I was making these notes the other night, is the fact that that's where they're going. I honestly think it's going to lead into a Young Avengers film like versus Kang.
Yep.
I'm good with it.
Yeah,
that's
like
a really good idea. And then plus you're introducing the Skrulls and all this stuff, so that leads you to get that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready to jump off this one. Miss Marvel I have next.
Miss Marvel is another one of those that's actually more of a newer comic book character. I was introduced to her actually through a video game, the Avengers video game.
Same here.
Yeah, so I wasn't really too familiar with her, but what I love about her is because she has it's funny how you grew up and you make your own characters and your own geek to things, and everyone knows me as Puttyman, and Puttyman essentially has the same powers as Miss Marvel, so I'm actually kind of interested in seeing what happens.
Okay, well,
it's good for divorce. It's good for diversity. Like, I mean, shout out to another Canadian actress there, right? She's playing. I forgot her name, but another Canadian. She's playing Ms. Marvel as well. So it's like, this is how you do diversity in comics correctly. Mm-hmm. Don't shoehorn it in just for the sake of shoehorning it.
I agree, and this is not like a thing where I care, but I agree. If don't just change a character's race in the movie just to pander. Do it because you have a good reason or a solid story behind it. You know what I mean? Just changing it just to sell tickets is a bad idea.
It is. It doesn't work. Just take Doctor Who, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, I mean, I'm not opposed to the Doctor becoming a female. It's the actress that they got was horrible, and it was for the wrong agenda. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Jodie Whittaker.
For me, it wasn't even that she was bad. It was that you could tell that the only reason they chose her was to push it on a female audience. And like I said, I don't care if you do it, but do it right.
Yeah.
Don't just do it. And this comic is this show is going to be a lot closer for me than for you guys. When this first dropped, I read Miss Marvel from issue 1 until I'd say like the end of volume 6, and it was great. It was so good.
Yeah, it's something I haven't gotten into that I want to get back into.
It kind of tapered off after that, but like obscure character that was right up my alley. She's just like, it's like a comedy kind of that she's learning. She accidentally has to become a superhero because she got these powers. She doesn't really want to. She idolizes Captain Marvel, and now she has powers, so she doesn't know what to do. But it's a really good comic, and I hope that they follow it.
Yeah, it's something I can look, and this is, I believe, also leading into Captain Marvel 2 as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So there could be a possible appearance by Rambo as well.
Captain Marvel is supposed in the comics, I think in like volume 3 or 4, she comes to meet her.
Okay.
And, here's my theory on all that, because we are going to get into Captain Marvel is one of those things that's going to the next phase, but. I know there's a lot of controversy with Brie Larson as Captain Marvel because of everything, and this is just my theory. I think that they will have Miss Marvel meet Captain Marvel as a fan, and then something's going to happen. And I honestly think Photon, aka Monica Rambeau, is going to take over the mantle of Captain Marvel in my eyes.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
I feel like Marvel is quietly doing like kind of what well, she kind of screwed up for herself, but kind of what Star Wars did with Gina Carano, where they were just trying to push her out slowly, waiting for her to do something stupid so that they could just get rid of her. And I think that's what they want to do with Brie Larson. I think
that's what's going to happen. They're going to do that, and then Monica Rambeau, the girl that plays Monica Rambeau, is going to come in and take over the mantle. But right now, the reason we saw her as Photon in WandaVision is because we're getting that Photon phase now, and that's going to get her into things. So maybe she'll be in Captain Marvel as Photon.
But see, is it Photon or is it Spectrum?
Well, yeah, good point. I like Photon better. Maybe that's the reason why I kept quoting that. Right? But that is true. The other thing, I guess I just stopped based on the costume. You know what I mean? That was the only thing that made me think of it.
So, okay, I'm going to go into the next one. I'm going to give you guys a second to go on this because I know we kind of touched on it in the last episode, and I personally don't care for this movie. I don't want it. It's the Eternals.
Same here. The only good thing about this is they're reuniting Robb Stark and Jon Snow.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
We're going to get the Red Wedding?
Yeah, exactly. Once again.
But my thing is the Eternal situation. I can understand why they're setting it up. They need to have that. You know what I mean? Because that brings in more the gods aspect or the bigger gods. You know what I mean?
The Celestials.
The Celestials. So I feel like it's a situation where you kind of need that.
The Celestials, the Skrulls, they're all tied in together, right? So this is kind of setting up that whole.
A big issue I have with this is that the Eternals were created as an answer for new gods, and just as like to the battle between Marvel and DC. So originally, there's no like weight behind these characters. They were just created to be like, we need to do what they're doing, now we're gonna get a movie of them and it's kind of like I get it. Guardians wasn't like a big thing, but Guardians was its own thing. It was like their answer to Star Wars. They created these characters. Eternals is literally made out of spite, and now you're gonna get a movie from it. It doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Here's where I'm confused at, and the thing is, it might be because if you think about it, WandaVision was supposed to actually have more episodes than it actually had, but because of like COVID and everything,
9 was already too many.
Yeah, but my point is they were supposed to have more episodes. And here's my thing though. I heard you guys review, and I agree that I feel like it dropped off towards the end. And at the same time, I was not expecting it just to be Agatha. I was expecting it to be more and have somebody else, maybe one of the gods. You know what I mean, from the Eternals, but. Then we didn't, you know what I mean? Or not the gods, but as in...
I really expected, I'm not even going to lie to you, I was 100% expecting Doctor Strange or Magneto. That's what I thought was going to happen.
100%.
I thought it was just going to be one of the bad guys. I thought it was just going to be get
or even Mephisto. Mephisto would have been Nightmare.
I thought it was too early for that.
What about Chthon?
Chthon, thank you.
I was expecting Chthon as well. Like, I mean, any one of those.
I was expecting character with random letters that spells something. I can't even say Chthon.
I can never say his name either. But Chthon actually links to the Eternals. That's why I felt like it could.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? And that's why I thought that okay, this is how they're going to key in the Eternals, and we didn't get nothing. Like everything that's supposed to connect to anything. Like, of course, for myself, I wanted something else, but I was at least saying, hey, this is probably the way they're going to do it. And then when we just got Agatha gone, and then that was it. I was like, I mean, we all knew Agatha was coming. We knew it was Agatha.
I got thoughts on that with the Doctor Strange movie, though.
Okay,
that's good. Yeah. That's good, actually. We can leave that for that. So, honestly, before we go, I think the cast for this is fine, but
it's phenomenal.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Angelina Jolie. And
no, I don't like her either.
I think she's so overrated, and she's not the person that she used to be in terms of like they used to use her as like a prop because she was really good looking. And I'm not saying she's not good looking anymore, but she's like 50. Well, and you're not.
So what about Salma Hayek then? She looks phenomenal.
I know. I'm not saying it like I think she's ugly. I'm saying you're not using her anymore as like just to sell tickets. You're using her for her acting, which
she was never a good actress.
She's that great.
She's never a good actor. No.
Well, I don't even remember who she's playing, but honestly, it might not even be a big situation in that. You know what I mean? It might not be.
She's one of the main Eternals.
Yeah, she's the head. She's the top Eternal, I believe.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, then that is scary. Okay,
but I like what's his name? Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah,
I'm about that. He's dope.
She's playing Thena. She's the main. She's the main character. Yeah.
Oh.
She's playing Thena.
Okay, let's go. So I'm skipping this. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
We got 3 big hitters coming up here, and I want to have some time to talk about it.
Absolutely.
I'm not even a big Spider-Man guy, but like I cannot wait for this movie. There's so much setup here. Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God that's a choice of name that they went with, because some of those fake ones that they released were bad.
But they were funny though. Like I really like the Phone Home.
Yeah, Phone Home was the best one.
But okay, jumping right into it, we're already aware that the multiverse is going to be set up. There's going to be this is going to be the multiverse in my eyes, even though it's going to be on the side of Sony. It's definitely, I think what it is I think they're using Spider-Man to test the waters of how people are going to react to it, and just see like, oh God, is it going to be too confusing or something like that? Because Sony has the tendency of screwing things up, and I think that's MCU's way of now, or Disney's way of saying, okay, you know what? They screwed up. We can distance ourselves from them.
Well,
you know what
this is I think too, because at the end of Home, was it Far From Home, where Parker's identity is released?
Yeah.
They're gonna. Doctor Strange is confirmed to be in the film, I think. So from what I think, he's gonna pluck another Parker, either be it Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, out of that universe, bring him into this one. So this way, Parker can walk the streets as Parker, and there's another Spider-Man. Maybe introduce Scarlet Spider.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is a thing I wanted, but I don't think this is going to happen. I wanted one of them, like, as a huge nod. So he goes to another, or one of the universe opens and one of them comes in, okay? Mm-hmm. It's Tobey Maguire. He gets killed by somebody, one of the villains in this universe, because he doesn't know why he's here, whatever. Then he finds a guy who's been there for like months now, and it's Peter B. Parker, and it's Andrew Garfield, and he's like living in a park because he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, and it's kind of like a nod to the cartoon movie while being its own thing. I think that would be like kind of cool if you did.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. That may or may not work, only because of the fact that it's too close to the cartoon movie, with the second one on the way as well.
I guess that's a good point. That's a good point. Because there is going to be a second one coming too.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and say this too, because I'm trying to remember his name.
Or just make one of their names Peter B. Parker as a joke. That I would do that, like.
Or just take from the comic and call him Ben Reilly.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I was trying to remember his name, and I'm actually trying to look it up right now just to get his name and everything.
I would love Scarlet Spider.
Okay,
yeah.
So everyone knows that Alfred Molina. That was the name.
Afro Molina.
Yeah.
Afro. I just walking around with his big
name. I just realized I said that way. Alfred Molina is actually returning, and here's my theory on that. I think the way Tobey Maguire is actually going to be plucked into the multiverse is, I think that there might not be a consistency, maybe, and I'm thinking maybe what's going to happen is they're actually going to pull him and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock in the middle of the train scene.
I think that's what's going to happen too. It's going to be a time travel thing.
I think differently. I think the Alfred Molina pull will be at the end of Spider-Man 2 when he's trying to harness the energy again. He didn't die in that crash. He was plucked out of the. Yeah. That's my theory.
That's good. I didn't think about that one.
Well, that's a game changer.
But that's where I think they're going to pull Molina from.
Also, and that would bring Tobey Maguire in because he'd be chasing him down.
In the first Andrew Garfield one, they were working a lot with like those weird science things that was happening with the lizard, and then in the second one, he sees the lab that has all the costumes for the characters, right? And that they could be setting up so something explodes inside the tower. What's it called?
Well, you gotta remember Jamie Foxx is coming back as
nobody cares,
as Electro, and then
I think Spider-Man's setting up the Sinister Six, guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. But see, that's the thing. That's what concerns me, is because I feel like we have two different setups in Spider-Man. It scares me because I feel like they're going to make too much out of one, because Sony has a tendency, they don't slow down like Kevin Feige, and that's what I'm scared of, because we did have the whole talks of them trying to put Peter Parker in with Venom, which makes me go, "Ooh, we could get a Maximum Carnage." But it's going to be hard to really pull off a Maximum Carnage if they're also doing a Sinister Six.
See, with the Sinister Six, it's going to be versus Venom, not versus Spider-Man. Spider-Man will not be involved with the Sinister Six, from what I believe, because you have Morbius, you have Morbius, you have who else is out there right now? You have
Morbius, Vulture. We have Scorpion.
Now you have Doc Ock. And don't forget about Parker's buddy, Ned Leeds. He's the Hobgoblin.
That's right. He does turn.
That's why Jacob Ballaton buffed up. I think he's being set up.
You know what I realized too? If you really watch like his interviews after Far From Home, he hints at that so much that he's going to be evil, and no one even caught on to that. I
think that's why he's like super ripped now, right? Like, so it's like I honestly think they're setting up Hobgoblin.
Okay, which I'm happy about.
I mean, everything you just said made me so happy.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the reason
Spider-Man is a character that's near and dear to my heart.
Well,
I've always loved Spider-Man.
That's the reason why I was so upset, because when Spider-Man 3 came out, Spider-Man 1 and 2, and I'm talking about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Well, of course, they make anyway. When Spider-Man 3 came out, I was so upset because, of course, I'm deep rooted in it as well. I loved everyone loved Venom, and to see him make jokes, but at the same time, I was expecting Hobgoblin, maybe what's his name, to become Hobgoblin. You know what I mean? And
the casting in Spider-Man 3 was all wrong.
I know. I agree.
The guy who played Sandman, I forgot his name, Thomas Hayden Church.
Right.
He would have been a better Eddie Brock.
Yeah, I agree. But see, I will say
Topher Grace, sorry. He was absolutely horrible in that film.
Yeah,
Didn't he quit the 70s show to do that?
Yeah, he quit the 70s show to do that, yeah. And then he went back.
Yeah, and see, what makes it really bad, though, is that even though the Sandman part could have been adjusted, at least it was the only good thing in there. And that's sad because it's not saying much for that plot, that casting, because it wasn't that good. But when you compare it to Venom, and even seeing what's his name as Green Goblin, the new Green Goblin, even though he was
David
set
DeHaan.
up for it.
Was it David DeHaan?
That's in the other one. It was James Franco.
No,
James Franco, yeah.
Because James Franco was set up for it. But the thing was I at that point I was like, all right, we're not going to get that. And then all of a sudden we got it, and I'm like, but now you're rushing it. And now I'm looking at Sandman like you're the better character. And that's sad to say because it really didn't. You get what I'm saying?
Sam Raimi didn't want to ever do Venom. He was forced. The next movie's plan still wouldn't have been Venom for him. Even if he didn't do Venom.
Again, he never liked it, but he didn't realize how big of a character it is. And I don't understand how there's a lot of characters in the Spider-Man world I don't like.
Listen,
like Hydro Man, but
the fact that you're planning on doing all these things with Spider-Man and that you have Sam Raimi now working at Marvel, it is like there's like Tom Holland's full of crap talking about they're not coming in the next movie.
They are 100%. Like they can't tell Tom Holland anything. They even joked at it when they revealed the movie title.
That's got to be a huge reason that they wanted to bring in Raimi, because now they have him being like, we did this. This is how we did it. Like when you introduce these characters, you'll have his styling on that Spider-Man. And like I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in Mark Webb to like consult for
Amazing
stuff from Amazing
and bring back Bruce Campbell.
Yeah,
right.
As every random character.
No. But the thing is, they were setting up Campbell to be Mysterio.
Yeah,
I heard. Yeah. But see, the thing is, at least if they're gonna do it,
that was gonna be the next movie, Mysterio.
Give me him like doing like the whole thing you did in the video game where he comes in talking about Spider-Man.
He's the narrator.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal to have him come in as the narrator and just going off loose on that one. So
so I think we can all agree we need a Spider-Ham cameo though.
Yes, 100%.
Voiced by John Hamm.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I also want a Spider-Man Noir cameo. And I want it to be Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage has to be.
Yeah, right.
That would make.
Him dressed. Actually, you got him dressed like that perfectly.
Yeah, he could pull that off so easily.
And make sure you pull it off just like the whole Sin City.
Okay, we've gone too far.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give him something red. Anyway,
we've gone too far.
Needless to say, Spider-Man is the one we're pretty like.
Spider-Man is the one that I have the most
hope for
because I love they have not said one thing so far that I've been like, no, I don't want this.
And that's funny too, because it's not really coming straight from Disney as well. That's the funny part about it.
Yeah, but Sony's involvement is like sit there and watch what we do, and then when you make your movie, you do the same thing that we did.
Yeah,
but okay, so
that's at the end of the year though, right?
That's in
December. December 17th.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just glad we're gonna get a lot of comic book movies. Okay, so this movie, I think, to me, and I'm gonna go right into this, so I don't want any comments on this part. I think this movie is gonna introduce us to the multiverse in a sense of we're going to see it happen. Nobody's going to understand why it's happening. And then when we get to Doctor Strange, which is the next movie, we're going to get an explanation of why this is happening. Yeah. Spider-Man's not going to give us an explanation. It's just going to happen.
Agreed.
And so
Agreed. 100%. And then it's going to be... Sorry, it's going to be a movie that you have to watch back to back.
Yeah, and then also Thor is going to also, I guarantee you, have something to do with it, because you did the 3 like mystical type movies, then storyline wise, that are all going to happen in a row here. Mm-hmm. So the next movie is Doctor Strange. I'm excited. Yep. I really like the first one.
Yeah, first one was fantastic. Cumberbatch, you know, he's great as the character. Like,
He was the perfect choice.
Yeah, he was. He with the goatee and everything, he's the perfect casting. The guy, I can't pronounce his name, Chiwetel. He's coming back as He's coming back as Mordor as well. Right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. I mean,
it's
that villain kind of got misused.
He was, because the focus was on Mikkelsen's character, Mads Mikkelsen's character.
Yep.
He was great.
Yeah.
You really didn't know
Mads
much
Mikkelsen
until the
is,
end.
Yeah, if you've never seen Drook yet, another round, watch it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Drook. But yeah, Doctor Strange, like, I agree with you 100%, John. It's gonna be just a continuation of Spider-Man, because like we said earlier, and I think it was the last one, where Strange is slated to appear in this film, and it's just going to carry over.
And I think Marvel has learned now how to set up things for us and not give us answers and leave us hanging. Where before they wanted everything to be contained always, now they're kind of like, we're going to set this up and we're going to literally leave you for months deciding what you think is going to happen, and you're going to be wrong.
Strange is what, in March of next year, right? Yeah. So it's literally a year from now.
Well, that's the reason why that's the reason why I understand that, and that's why that's happening, because the Infinity Saga, that right there, that basically like closed the doors. That saga goes into phase 4, and see what the situation is. I feel like now they know the viewers are like, okay, we understand how this works now, so let's be ready to take it to the next step. And now let people look for the clues and be a little bit confused, but it gives them anticipation, because they know, oh, that next movie is definitely going to explain it. You know what I mean? It's not one of those things where they're like, oh, what do I watch next? They just got to look for the Marvel moniker and go, oh, there we go. You know what I mean?
Okay,
yeah, I agree.
Saw that, by the way.
Yeah. I messaged him. Okay, so we got a couple of minutes here. Does anyone else have anything about Doctor Strange before we do Thor?
No, I think it's just going to be, it's basically going to be the follow-up. We find out the extent of Wanda's powers is what I think as well in Doctor Strange.
Okay, sorry. Go.
Yeah.
No, you go.
No, that's all. I'm just saying that we find the extent of Wanda's power in this one.
I think Wanda needs to have some either justification of what she did or a punishment for what she did at this point. She either needs to go full-blown evil and get killed, or have such a good reason for what she did in WandaVision that we forgive her, because what she did was absolutely one of the most villainous things that's happened ever.
Yeah,
it was selfish, is what it was. It was selfish.
But that's what I'm saying. I think this is exactly what they're doing now. They're setting up for her not to even be Wanda anymore. Now she's the Scarlet Witch.
She's the Scarlet Witch. She did. This is like a good thing too. The fact that all these companies are together makes so much sense, because they totally took a page out of Star Wars. She had the power to choose both sides, and she chose the dark side. She chose emotion and passion like she chose herself over the people, and you could see like she's gonna go full dark side. I 100% expect it, and someone's gonna step up and have to kill her, and that's what I think. That's where I think it's going. I think the next major villain, everyone thinks it's gonna be like Galactus or something. It's not. It's gonna be Wanda.
Well, see, even if it does, I think the reason why they are, again, and this is going back to what you normally say, the reason they're setting up Wanda is because of her lineage.
That's
just
fair.
Her lineage. You know what I mean?
That's where we'll accept the mutants.
This is where we'll accept. I will now accept mutants.
Yeah, because that's where lineage is coming in.
But then again, there's also, going back to Doctor Strange, there's also another Young Avengers set up there, because they cast America Chavez in that too. As Miss America.
Miss America.
Yeah. So there's your team of 5 Young Avengers right there already.
Exactly. So now you have
Wiccan and Speed. You introduce her to Miss America, America Chavez. You bring in Kate Bishop with that. Like, there you go.
Well, see, that's my whole point. I think what's going to happen is I think they're going to use Wanda very, very prominently. Like in my eyes, and I know this sounds a lot, I really feel like Wanda, aka Scarlet Witch, is the opening, like Iron Man, to this new world, because of her lineage to both her brother, her dad, her children, all mutants.
We are 100% going to have a Magneto cameo, whether it be one of the old ones or a new one, saying that was never really your father. I'm your father all along. I promise.
I was Star Wars once again, right?
Yeah,
exactly. But I told him this in our WandaVision thing. I was expecting him to come at the end of WandaVision and be like, "I'm your father," and it was going to be Michael Fassbender or something.
Well, I said that too. I was wanting that, but the reason I didn't expect it is because Again, like we said, this was shot before. You know what I mean? I was aware that where it was shot, that wouldn't happen because they didn't have it then, and then maybe they didn't shoot it and weren't want to shoot it. And that's the reason why I feel like the reason that Scarlet Witch is the Iron Man is because I think what's going to happen is she's going to go full-blown bad to where she's fighting a lot of people. But then what's going to happen is in another universe, she's going to finally see her children. And then she's going to realize the lineage of her father and then see her brother again, maybe even.
And that's what I think opens the door for Kang to enter as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
Agree.
And that's going to be where finally maybe Black Widow will see her kids, see her brother, and realize what she's done. And maybe she'll fix everything, bring the mutants in, and at the same time redeem herself and say,
it's going to be a story of redemption for sure.
So anyways, you called her Black Widow like 7 times, but
did I say Black Widow?
I'm just gonna.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry. I'm reading my screen. I must have read Black Widow.
I'm cutting you off here. We have 5 minutes here. I just want
Thor?
Thoughts on Thor and Love and God of Thunder.
It's going to follow the Jane Foster storyline.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't care. I'm totally.
I'm good with that.
It, but it wasn't the greatest comic for me, at least. But
I
like
good
the
with
direction. I like the direction.
As long as we get an introduction to Beta Ray Bill in this one.
Oh my God!
As long as it's Taika Waititi, I have faith.
Yeah, I have.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing. That's what I want. But here's what my concern is. I loved way that he's played Thor. You know what I mean? And I even saw your guys' last podcast, not the last one, but the one prior because we shot the first part. Anyway, but my point to the thing is that if Jane Foster is going to take over Thor, because I don't know if she's going to take over or what, but I liked where they were going, and with him being set up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. As if we're just going to see him in maybe that movie, and we're going to see him in this Thor movie, and then he's gone. Because I understand that a lot of them don't stick with their careers, but didn't he say he was willing to play Thor as long as he wanted to?
Yeah,
so
he did.
So then what's the
point? But remember, you now have Mjolnir back, and you have Stormbreaker as well. So who says one can't?
2 Thors.
Who says you can't have one?
No, this is what's going to happen. And I am going to just say this because I promise you this is what's going to happen. Thor is going to take over the role of Odin. And Jane Foster is going to become Thor. He's going to stay in Asgard or wherever they are now as the leader of all of the people, and then she's going to be the Thor that goes and fights and takes care of things, because that's what happens in the comic.
Yeah.
Well, he eventually becomes Galactus.
What's the word I'm looking for? I know his
Herald.
Herald. Galactus is Herald. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember I even talked about because they connected the Fortnite.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point to the thing is I had to bring up one other thing though which confused me, because remember in the end of Endgame he ended up giving over his land to what's her name,
Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson.
But Valkyrie is going to go. Valkyrie in this movie at some point in this movie is going to get picked up by Captain Marvel, and they're going to go start a team.
That's Valkyrie, Marvel, and Spectrum.
Yeah,
Makes
or
sense.
Photon, whatever the hell name is.
Whatever you want to call it. Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau. Yeah,
they're going to start their own team, and they're going to go do they're going to Captain
Guardians,
Marvel 2 is going to be a Guardians movie.
Well, then you know what? It just dawned on me. Then you're right, because I've noticed one thing that's been delved into a lot. Well, there's 3 things they're setting up for. They're setting up for Young Avengers. They're setting up for Mutants, of course, or X-Men, and then the other third thing besides Fantastic Four is they're setting up for all female cast of characters, because they got Ironheart coming out. You know what I mean?
Ironheart's
yeah, exactly. So
Captain Marvel's going to lead into that. The second Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but that's my whole point.
The catalyst.
That's also going to bring Jane Foster, the female Thor, things of that nature. So I think that's another world where they're like, because you can tell MCU has gotten so big that I think they've realized, we can expand this even bigger and have so many areas to where like there will be a lot of female fans and so on and so forth. I mean, of course, I watch all of them, but you're going to have those people that are going to be typecast to certain areas, and it's great. You know what I mean?
What I'm seeing right now was when it started, it was all these branches that came down. Think of it as a tree. So you have the tree with all the branches out,
and it came
down to the trunk, which was Endgame.
Yeah, and now it's going the other way.
Now it's spreading out again, like the roots.
Rooting. Yeah, and the roots
that makes sense.
Or you want to start from the roots and go up, right?
That was
so you start
good.
Right?
No, I
on his shirt.
Because see, the roots can. I agree. I think the roots is a bigger deal because it's kind of, or the iceberg method. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We did everything in the iceberg. Now
but everybody's talking about icebergs now. I want trees.
Oh, I know. I get it. But I'm saying that's what everyone uses the reference for.
You bitch.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the same reference as that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bottom part is always bigger. So like the top part, everyone's like, "Oh man, that was huge." It's like, no, you don't realize what's going on.
I think this is my last thought, and then I'm ending this. Yeah, and you guys don't get last thoughts.
Oh wow,
this is my podcast.
That's fine.
All right. I think that this spreading out of the storylines that's about to come is going to separate the universe for good, and not like there won't be a chance that they meet up and do things together, but we'll never get a full combined. Endgame was the last time they're all going to be together doing something. They're all going to go on their own separate journeys now, and that's what's going to happen, because it's not going to be just focused in New York anymore. It can't be, because Spider-Man needs to have New York.
Right, but see what I think it's still going to culminate, but I think it's going to be a longer culmination now. I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to have all these small universes of things going on, and then we're going to have.
I said, no, you don't get to talk.
I don't care. I'm talking
about quick. You have 10 seconds.
Anyway, my point to the thing is I think they're going to still have their big Avengers, but it's going to be more like there's like the big X-Men, the big Avengers, and then everything will come together. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Let us know which one you want to see the most in the comments. I'll put their stuff in the bio so you can click and go subscribe to them. And thanks for watching.